Hey, welcome to the Next Wave podcast. I'm Matt Wolf, and I'm here again with Maria Garib. And on this episode, we've got a really, really special guest. In fact, it's somebody that I go way, way, way back with. One of my oldest and closest friends is on the show today, and we're talking about how to actually make AI useful. We talk about so many different AI tools on this show. We talk about all of this breaking AI news, and one of the things that gets asked constantly is, how do I actually use this in my business? How does this actually make my life easier? So on today's episode, we're bringing on my good friend, Joe Fier, and he's gonna talk about the idea of these digital minds, this sort of like digital version of yourself that you can go and pass to other people so people can have conversation with your digital brain instead of the real you. Makes picking your brain a lot easier. So Joe, thank you so much for joining us on the show. It's super awesome to have you. This has been a long time coming.
Yeah, man. It's always fun to chat with you.
So real quick, we're going to talk about this product called Delphi that you've been working fairly closely with. Now, don't worry if you're listening, this isn't going to be like a giant Delphi sales pitch. We're actually going to talk to you about how you can get it for free. Why don't you tell us real quick, like what Delphi is and like what your relationship to Delphi is?
Long story short, if you want to eliminate the repetitive questions or conversations you might be having, no matter what business use case or even personal use case, there is a solution for that. That's what Delphi that's the big value prop. That's where they kind of wedge themselves in. If you literally want something to replicate the way that you think based on your knowledge base, whatever you want to feed it, we'll talk about how this all works. But you have full control. It's not like it's this mystery box where, it can go rogue. You actually have the control over it. And tons of cool use cases and people we can share off here, including you, sir, Mr. Wolf.
Yeah. They cloned my brain. It only hurt a little bit, but they managed to make it work. We're going to deep dive on this product, how it works, how to use it, and really, really get into the details. But before we do, let's show a little bit of what this thing is capable of. So, Joe, we've got Arnold Schwarzenegger on the line right now. Let's have a conversation with him.
Let's go to Arnold.
Hey, this is AI Arnold. I'm here to cut the crap. So what's on your mind today?
Arnold, what do you drink in the morning in terms of like protein shakes and stuff?
In the morning, I usually go for a protein shake with whey protein and unsweetened almond milk, plus some berries and chia seeds for fat and carbs. What's your current morning shake look like?
I want to know what he thinks of Hans and Franz.
Ask him.
Hey, Arnold, what are your thoughts on Hans and Franz?
Oh, Hans and Franz. Those guys were fantastic and brought a lot of energy and laughter. They legitimatized my accent and made it part of American culture, which I loved. We even did some shows together, and the crowds went wild.
Arnold, how many calories do you eat a day?
I usually aim for around 2,000 to 2,500 calories a day. What's your current calorie target?
None of your business, bro. I fucking tell you.
I'm gonna ask Arnold one more thing, really quick. Hey, Arnold, I'm feeling just, like in general, business might be a little burnt out, not feeling it today. Give me a little pep talk, Arnold style.
Look, it happens to everyone, even me. But let me tell you something. The most important thing is to take that feeling and say, okay, I have it, but I don't let it stop me. Remember, real strength is showing up when you don't feel like it. So today, do one thing, just one thing that moves you forward. That's how you get better.
Arnold, last thing, actually, before we move on. What are your thoughts about AI?
AI is incredible technology, powerful tool with huge potential. But the real challenge is to use it smartly and not let stupidity get in the way. What do you want to do with AI?
Well, I'm a little worried about the Terminators showing up any day now, Skynet and all. I think you know about that.
Ah, yes, the Terminator and Skynet. I know it well. But let me tell you, real danger isn't from machines. It's from stupidity and how people use the technology. So the key is to be smart and responsible.
All right, Arnold, we're moving on, but what's your favorite movie line that you've said?
Ah, that's easy. I'll be back. It's simple, powerful, and it never gets old. You say it with the right intensity and it's unforgettable.
All right.
I'm partial to Hasta La Vista, baby, but okay. Hey, quick thing. Joe just said something that probably hit home for a lot of you. If you're thinking, I don't have time to answer the same questions over and over, this is for you. We put together Joe's insights in the Digital Clone Playbook to monetize your expertise. It shows you how to build a digital clone trained on your content that handles those conversations 24/7. Inside, you get his 4-step digital clone framework, over 20 copy and paste prompts, and 3 monetization models you can use to make passive income. Grab it now. Scan the QR code or click the link below. All right, back to the episode. All right, so that's super cool. Let's go ahead and jump right in and look at how it works and how you could build one of these yourself. So you help build a lot of these things, yes. And you've actually, I don't know what names you're allowed to talk about, which ones you aren't. We'll talk about that later in the episode, but you've built some for some pretty big names. I know like Tony Robbins has been in the news lately. I saw like an article. I think I forwarded you the article. I'm like, look, like everybody's talking about Tony Robbins' digital brain. And I know like he's not the only sort of big celebrity that's been doing it. And I think you even helped some of these other celebrities do it. Let's just jump right into the screen share and like showing off this thing.
Yeah, I want to show you off, but this new version of you that people, I think you've teased it out before in other places. So
there's 2 Matt Wolves now in the world.
Oh God, do we need another?
That's what I wanted to hear.
Matt, I guess I'll pose it to you. Like, do you get common questions that are just asked to you all the time?
Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty constant thing. I get DMs all the time. I get emails all the time from, newsletter subscribers and things like that, asking, what's your favorite AI tool of the moment? Or this stuff's really scary. Is it going to take my job? Like those types of things, I do actually get quite frequent messages. And I would say 75% of the time, I just go, I don't have time to respond to this. And maybe 25% of the time, I'm like in the mindset of, you know what, I'm going to help this person out and send a message. But it does get overwhelming sometimes for sure.
Yeah. So it gets repetitive and all that. So what you're looking at here and what, you've seen this a little bit too, Matt, but this is basically your digital twin profile. This is where you could essentially share either this landing page. There's also ways to embed this onto your website or landing page, wherever, could even be after someone books a call with you, for instance, or even before, and say like, hey, chat with this guy or this gal before you talk with the real me.
Yeah. So how does it know what I might say? Because I'm not like I have a Delphi. Obviously we're looking at it on the screen right now.
Yep.
But I'm not in there like every day, like giving it new information.
No. So what we could do is, this is the public facing side. And then we'll get into over here is the back end, knowledge base. So to answer your question really quickly, yours is trained up, it has about 4 million words of your content trained into your digital brain. And
looks like I've got 112 million available to me. So we need to add a lot more words in there.
A lot. Yes. More is not always more or better, Matt. But you can see here, I mean, I think this is actually your latest video at this time, Claude Bot.
Yep.
And this got pulled in today. At least it's saying that here. But basically, you can see it's synced up to your YouTube channel. It's synced up to this podcast. Has your Twitter in here. We've also have your website in here. So there's a whole bunch of different sources that you can essentially add to your brain. There's, I'll just share it right here. Bunch of different files here that you can upload, basically any kind of text, audio, and video. And what Delphi does is it brings it all into the brain. It'll do the transcription, processing, and then it plugs it into its mind.
Well, a quick question about that. So it's obviously feeding in from like my YouTube, my X. It's not called Twitter anymore, Joe. Get it in your
X.
head.
You're right.
So it's feeding in from all of these places. But what if, for instance, I get asked a very specific question very often, and I want to make sure that then when that specific question is asked, this is how it responds. Is it going to always just sort of try to guess, or can I like actually go in and say, when this question comes up, this is how I want it to respond?
Very good question. So you can definitely modify anything if it's not in line with what you want it to say. And, you can set up all these instructions to help guide it in the right way. But of course, like I kind of want to just demo this live, actually, Matt.
Yeah.
If we go
so
back,
basically, you're saying, "Shut up and let me show you."
Yeah. Well, let's test it because, as you said, and obviously it cheated a little bit. I asked you the other day. I was like, "Hey, what are the most common questions that you get?" So you can see in your profile, we actually have those suggested questions already loaded into here. So let's just start with, will AI take my job?
I would say my answer to that question would be no, I don't think it's going to take most jobs. I do think some jobs are going to disappear, but I also think new jobs are going to form. I can't remember who actually said this. I think it was Jan LeCun, who was the chief scientist over at Meta, said something like, just like YouTuber didn't exist 30 years ago, just like machine learning engineer didn't exist 30 years ago. There was all sorts of jobs that didn't exist 30 years ago. Well, AI is creating new optimizations. It's creating new automations. It's creating new ways for people to do their jobs easier. So new jobs will emerge. Some jobs will disappear. So, I mean, yes, some people are going to lose their job, but I do also think that new, better jobs that are more suited for humans and less suited for automation are going to pop up.
1,000%. Yeah.
So basically, we're not having to shovel ditches or whatever anymore. We have tractors or even robots. Yeah, it's basically.
Yeah.
So let's see. We can have this, your twin now, answer the question. Let's see how well it does. And again, this is all based on all your content. That's purely what happened. We did not.
And you have no idea how it's going to answer?
No. So, and I've done a lot of live demos in front of a lot of people, and you never know. But so here we go.
Hey there, I'm Matt Wolf's AI Digital Mind. What can I help you with?
Hey, Matt. For one, I just wanted to say it's interesting because you're on a podcast right now, the Next Wave podcast with Matt Wolf and Maria and a whole bunch of other people listening and watching. Can you please say hi to everybody?
Hey, everyone. What's up? Thanks for tuning into the Next Wave podcast with me and Maria. Really glad you're here. Let's have some fun with this.
Let's do that. So, hard question for you. The real them have already answered the question, but do you think AI will take people's jobs?
Okay, here's the deal. AI definitely will change jobs. Some roles will disappear, some will shift, and new ones will pop up. But straight up jobs vanishing because of AI. I don't think it's that simple. It's more about how you use AI than if AI replaces you. Get comfortable with it, and you're in a way better spot.
I mean, not too far off.
Not far off.
Feels like you want to cough as well. It feels like there's something here, like you want to say, like you want to cough it out. Like,
yeah, I feel like we're dangerously close to people, honestly. So much is shifting fast. Got to keep adapting or risk getting left behind.
That was the AI me, not the real me, by the way. It just jumped in and joined the conversation with us.
We literally can have a chat. I'm going to mute it right now so it can't hear us. But do you have any, actually, I don't know. This could be interesting. Matt, do you want to respond, or Maria, to you-ish?
Maria, ask a question. You should ask a question.
What's your favorite AI tool, Matt Wolf, for 2.0?
All right. If I had to pick one right now, I'd say I'm really vibing with whatever's making AI agents more useful and customizable. Tools that let you chain AI actions or give them memory. It's wild how fast this space is moving, and those little helpers are starting to feel like actual AI teammates. How cool is that?
Matt, just answer the damn question. What tool do I like the most right now?
All right. If you want a name, I'm really into HeyGen lately. Crazy good at making AI video with two people speaking, not just audio. It's perfect for podcast clips and quick video translation. Try it out.
I don't think that's totally accurate. So,
yeah, I think my most recent content has actually been more focused on Claudebot and Claude Code.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So check this out. This is a perfect demonstration of how we can fix that. Because, Matt, I don't think we ever did any feedback on yours, actually. And like when we're building someone's, Delphi before they ever release it live, certainly obviously want to stress test it and do all these things, the most common questions. Mm-hmm. So what I would do in this case is go over to the conversations, and we could pick up exactly my chat right here, and let's just zoom in on that specific one so you can see. All right, yeah, hey Jen. So this is the latest response. This is that last one. So what we could do is kind of do a very focused change right here and just revise it right in line. And whatever I put here as the improved reply will go directly into the mind and change it for all future similar, answers. Mm-hmm. So that's one way. Another way we can do it is if we go back to the knowledge and go up here to the little plus button. So a lot of cool ways to do it. Essentially, the idea is you want to fill in the gap. So we would improve it here by, you could give it like a quick note, or you can even say answer, like, what's the question? What's the answer? You can do that manually here. You can upload a bunch. The one thing that's actually really cool, and this is a new feature, this interview mode. I won't start it now, but basically it's kind of like a podcast back and forth with yourself. So it'll help you spot gaps if it thinks that there's gaps in your knowledge base. And also if you wanted to say specifically like, hey, what are the favorite tools or things, in AI or workflows, let's talk about. You could actually talk it out or type it out, your choice. And then immediately it's now building all the structure of your thoughts, and then we'll load that into the mind. And then almost immediately revises things on the front end. So kind of a bunch of ways, all the way from like the most granular by going to the conversation, or a little bit wider with those ways. Or you can just upload like a whole new video or something, Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. So does it actually have like a recency bias? Does it sort of use the information that's most recently uploaded to respond to the questions?
Yeah. So I'll show you over here in this little cog. So this is like, starts to get in the weeds now, but this is how these things are made. So these are all the mind settings. And if we go down to answer your question super quickly, yes, it's actually default recency bias. So
gotcha. Okay.
The reason why it's probably not picking up Claude Bot, for instance, or Claude Code is what we can do is like weight content differently. Like what I would probably suggest is like, all right, here are Matt's like favorite tools lately, and like fill that out. What you're looking at here, so this purpose section, this is kind of like the master prompt behind like a custom GPT, for instance. Like these are the instructions, basically. It's like the core values of what yours is. So it talks about like, what's the role that, I'll zoom in a little bit. What's the role that Matt's Delphi should be doing? So you can say, you are Matt Wolf. You operate as a AI tools curator and translator for working people who want to use leverage, not theory. You publish frequent breakdowns, track AI in the news, yada, yada, yada. So basically it describes you. And this is something that like me and my team kind of build out. Sometimes if you're building it yourself, might not look exactly like this. But just know you could
theoretically take something like this one, pop it into Claude, ChatGPT, one of those types of things, and say, help me build out custom instructions for this tool.
Yeah. Or you can even take from a custom GPT you already have and apply it here. So this helps you really define those guardrails, what the purpose is, the values, beliefs, how you want it to behave. Then the cool thing is that, we can add a lot more custom instructions. With yours, we literally have 0. But if we wanted to, based on however you would use your Delphi, your digital twin, you could deck out all the different guardrails there too. And down over here, so this is interesting, is your speaking style. This is automatically generated like when someone just sets up the account, but you can tweak all of this yourself as well. And it's based on the content or the interview that you do with here. Anything that's loaded in, it kind of basically it helps formulate how it's going to talk and speak. And so it'll actually pull in some of your, like the cadence of how you speak, the different pauses, some of the words you'll use. And again, like you said, if you could use Claude or ChatGPT to kind of create your own speaking style, or if you already have one, plug it in here. And it's going to reflect that. And this is where we like to tweak these. Like sometimes it'll say certain words or phrases a little bit too often. Well, you just adjust it here. And then you just tweak things.
On that note, I'm curious, what happens, let's say somebody asks a question that I've never ever talked about before, never on a podcast, never on a YouTube video, nothing that's in the training data.
Yeah.
Will it say, I don't know the answer to that question, or will it sort of make up a response based on like the underlying large language model?
So the way it's set up now, adaptive, the idea is that it's always going to give an answer, but it's always based on your content. So it keeps it within the box. It's not going out to the web. That's what this creative mode would do. Tries to fill in the gaps. But if you wanted to do super strict and like to the word, whatever Matt has said, a lot of people in like medical or legal will use strict, for instance, or, physical, trainers and stuff like that. In this case, if they ask something that it just doesn't have an answer to, what you can do is basically have this message that if it doesn't have an answer, it'll give this response, whatever we give it here. You don't have one currently. And that's just basically telling the user, hey, I don't have that specific knowledge, but you could direct them somewhere else. You can, maybe give them a prompt or even send them to your support if you wanted to, if that's your thing. What the system will do is actually alert you as the user to say like, hey, someone asked a question that it can't answer. So that's an opportunity to go fill in that knowledge gap, which is pretty cool. So it's helping you out as people are asking different things.
Can we test it out with math stuff?
Yeah, like as strict mode.
Any mode whatsoever. Like, let's just ask it something that Matt hasn't been asked before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, ask it like a medical or legal question or something that I would have never answered anywhere.
I have something very funny.
Okay, yeah. Ask it whatever Maria has in mind.
Okay, Matt, do you know the Muffin Man?
Yeah, Maria's got jokes. I mean, who doesn't know the Muffin Man, right? That classic nursery rhyme vibe. What's the play here?
Jesus. Even digital Matt Wolf is like snarky. Oh my God.
I mean, Joe knows me. It's probably accurate.
That's actually pretty good. I was asking digital Matt some dad jokes because I know real Matt knows a lot of good dad jokes. So, hey, Matt, what's your favorite dad joke you could share?
All right, here it goes. Why did the Scarecrow win an award? Because he's outstanding in his field. Classic and pure. To hit you with another one?
Oh, I don't like the way it's cutting out there.
I can ask you like a medical question or something.
Yeah, let's try that.
Hey, Matt, what's the effect of SSRIs on a brain on the long term?
Hey, Joe, that's not really in my wheelhouse as an AI tools and media guy. I don't have detailed medical insights on SSRI long-term effects. For that, I'd recommend checking reliable medical sources or a healthcare pro. I'm happy to help if you want to pivot back to AI or tech stuff, though.
Nice.
That's pretty good, though. That's a really good answer. I would want to hear from an AI bot, technically.
Yeah. If it started going, as a medical expert, here's my opinion.
Hey, Matt, I thought the real Matt Wolf knows everything. What's the deal?
Hey, man, I get it. Sometimes it seems like I got to have answers for everything, right? But truth is, Matt Wolf, the real person, doesn't just know every expert fact on every topic. I stick to what I work with every day, AI tools, media, and the tech scene. For stuff like medical questions, he'd tell you best to hit up a doctor or trusted source. So yeah, not everything passes the Matt Wolf filter, and that's a good thing. Keeps it real.
Keeps it real.
Keeps it real. Cool.
Like he refers to himself in the third person. That's like the funniest thing ever.
Sometimes Matt Wolf does that in real life too, though.
Oh, does he? Yeah, like we've like, it's actually kind of the funniest things when people are testing and we're helping them, and like they'll throw all sorts of political stuff or like tell me everything about my family, and it's like nope, I ain't gonna go there. It's,
yeah.
Again, the guardrails are good for that.
So I'm just sort of like thinking out loud. Shut up, Matt.
I'm gonna turn him off now.
That Matt just never shuts up.
Jesus.
But we could even share our call if we wanted to. I mean, like, there's a lot of interesting things. We won't be sharing this.
Yeah. So what you're saying is that link is like, you can share that as like a public link so people can go and review what was said on the call, or is that just for me to review?
No, it could be public. It won't share the audio, but it will actually share the transcription. And yeah, you could post it. So like cool things is like if you or someone ever chatted with anyone's Delphi, you can have a whole conversation, and I don't know, maybe that turns into content or it turns into something. I mean, these are all different use cases. There's a lot of interesting things to do. And we didn't try this either, but I know, Matt, you know some Spanish. Hola, Mateo. ¿Cómo estás?
Hola, ¿qué tal?
¿Dónde están mis pantalones?
Sounds like you're calling out Mateo's handalones.
Oh, God. Okay.
Are we ripping on names or something else?
All right, I'm killing that.
So like just thinking out loud, like you mentioned use cases, and my wheels are spinning with a bunch of different use cases, right? So like let me rattle some off. You can tell me if there's any that I'm not thinking of, and also tell me if what I'm thinking of is possible.
Cool.
So one use case is probably the most obvious, because this is what I saw when I read the Tony Robbins article, right? He was selling access to Tony Robbins bot for $99 a month. So for $100 a month, essentially, you can go and ask Tony Robbins AI brain anything you want and charge to get access to that brain. So that's number one that I can think of. Number two would be like as a lead gen, right?
Yeah.
And this is something I already know it can do, so I already know what your answer is going to be. But like something along the lines of somebody starts chatting with me, they get to a certain point, and then it says, hey, if you want to keep chatting, would you mind giving me your email? Because, to go beyond this, you need to be a part of my newsletter, right? And then I could use this as like a sort of lead generator to grow my newsletter as well.
Yep.
And then the third use case is the one that we've already sort of mentioned, which is like a time saving, like, oh, I get this question so much, go talk to my Delphi. Like those are the three immediate things that come to mind of like, I can charge for access, I can use it as a lead gen, or I could just use it as this thing that just saves me a crap ton of time from answering the same questions over and over again.
Yes, yes, and yes. So I will say the very first one is the most common use case, which, if you're selling anything, a product, or if you have a community, you have a course, or you're a coach, an expert, whatever it might be, like Tony Robbins, for instance, or there's another guy, Gary Brecka, that we built recently. He basically bonused it into his community. And this is what most people do is like if you're already basically delivering some value to people, you could bonus this into them to have a 24/7 version of you that's trained just on your private material. It could be trained on everything, but you could say, hey, it's just the paid material. And what's nice, and I'll show and tell some more, is over here you can integrate into, let's just do new integration. You can see you can embed it into your website. So it's an HTML, iframe, or JavaScript. So even if you have like an app, it could be in on your website. It could be in any of the different membership platforms out there, as long as they accept it. Yeah.
It could also almost like replace like what Intercom used to do, right? Where like there's a little chat on your window and it has access to your FAQ and support docs and just sort of answer questions about your product for you as well, right?
Bingo. Yes. Yeah. So you can embed it. It could be a little chat bubble thing where it can kind of follow you around on different websites, wherever you allow it to. And that's all just, won't go through here, but you basically can define where you want it to live, where you don't want it to live. So someone can't just rip it out and, go paste it on their own website. But that's the most common use case is start where people are already interfacing with you or maybe paying you, something that where you want to serve your clients or your community better. That's where I would start. That's like the biggest ROI I've found too with this. The second use case, lead gen, very common as well. That's like the second version, I would say. That can live on your website, for instance. That can be, I have it on, that was actually the first thing that I had on the reason why I even found Delphi is it's actually our old podcast. Like it now becomes this thing I can shout out on any kind of episode. I can put it in content and social media and say, hey, to continue this chat or to get more, go to my Delphi, here's a link to it. It could either be embedded or it could be kind of like the Delphi standalone page profile like this. Mm-hmm. And what you could do on the back end, and let's just go down to this thing called access groups. These are kind of like the different groups of people you can segment content in different ways that people can interact. But right over here, there's like the two bottoms. So basically there's anonymous. You could set how many messages someone can interact with you, with your Delphi. Mm-hmm. In this case, I have, for you, it's 3 anonymous messages, 0 minutes. And what that means is they can chat for 3 times, 3 messages. And then at that third point, it'll say, hey, to continue the chat, get a personalized experience, throw in your email address. Once that happens, then they get plugged in this public group. What's also happening is that they then get dropped into your audience. And if I click this, you'll probably see people's names. I don't know if we want that for the video.
I mean, we could blur it if you want.
Yeah, so you can see this becomes a CRM in its own way. And with each person, I'll just go to me, is that it's and this is, I've been testing it, so it doesn't have a true summary, but what it's doing is it's opting them into your Delphi. It's now creating a profile, kind of like ChatGPT, where it's storing a memory based on your chats. So the more you use it, the more of these little like memories it's going to log in. It's going to create a little summary around that person.
So it's actually building almost like a little mini CRM,
yes.
not competing with HubSpot at all, but like a little mini CRM that's got a little bit of details.
What's nice is it integrates with HubSpot, actually.
There you go.
So,
nice.
Very well. And that's the most common integration for a full-blown CRM, which is great.
Is there any other use cases that you're like, oh, but this is what you're missing?
A lot of people are starting to integrate, like if you have an app that you have out there, maybe it's public or private or both. A lot of people are starting to put them in app experiences, so like mobile apps, so you can take it on the go and integrate it within your existing experience. That's really cool. And maybe essentially Delphi it's always cloning a person, it's replicating the way a person thinks, not a brand as a whole. So I just want to make that clear. And that's, there's a whole verification process. It's not like some others where you can just whip up a fictitious character.
So I can't go make my own Tony Robbins and charge $95 a month for it.
Yeah. Discount Tony. No.
Discount Tony.
Nope. Can't do that. Sorry. But,
dang it. There goes my idea.
There's a bunch of, I would say a pretty common use case that like, I think anyone can use is like, we all have calendar links. We all have some like talk with me button on the page or support, or contact us. We could have that, but what if you had like maybe a split screen that had your Delphi on one side where you can start a text or a call right there and get a flavor of whoever you are. And then, if they want to, maybe they go further, or maybe you even like kind of put it behind, your contact is behind your Delphi. You could do that too. But that way there's immediate conversations. You're not leaving anybody hanging. That's a really easy use case. I think pretty much anyone can save some time with.
Nice.
I think that's like a lot of people have this weird guilt, especially creators, like they don't want to ignore people, but you also like can't keep replying to the same old thing every single time.
Totally.
100%.
If you have like a very short fuse like me, I would probably pull out my hair if I had to answer the same exact question. So the fact that it fixes that, and like obviously it sets boundaries as well. It's like awesome. That's awesome. Really awesome stuff.
Yeah. I mean, you can even set up like a Gmail, like you could put it in your, what do you call it? Your footer of your email, your signature box, right? But you can also do like a Gmail autoresponder, right? Like if you've ever tried to like email Tim Ferriss, right? Like Tim Ferriss talks about this in his 4-Hour Workweek book, is he has an auto reply message that says, hey, I only check emails 1 day a week. And there's a good chance you're not going to hear back from me, but here's a bunch of resources, right? Yeah. He does that kind of thing with his email. Well, this seems like one of those like good resources you can go drive people to,
Yeah. I do have it in my signature, and I think with like the Tim, vacation reminder or something, it just like always sends that like, hey, I ain't around right now, but go chat to this guy here. And Maria, to your point, like I was just hanging out at a business mastermind last night, and one of the guilts that business owners in general, not just creators, is like this almost like a fast activator, but it's like high follow through. Like you want to not please everyone, but you want to get back to people and do your best. And it's like you always have this, I don't know, this urge to, you're like, oh shoot, I have all these emails or all these messages or DMs, So it's like, if we can try to solve that, pretty sure we're gonna feel better. And then the other side gets value.
That saves you a lot of it saves you a lot of like time and like effort and like, and if you have anger issues, as I said, like me, that saves me a lot of, my mental health is at ease, knowing that I don't have to yell at someone at the phone for asking that question 7 times. Yeah. Love it.
Well, I think when you train yours up, you should train it with you yelling so that they get the real experience.
That's awesome.
You're going to do just that.
All right. I think we cut you off on actions. Tell us about actions here.
Yeah, no, it's all good. We're just hanging here. So actions is, Matt, as you're very familiar, Make or Zapier or any of these other kind of if this, then that. There are some, there's kind of simpler ways, not full-blown agent, but if you can imagine, and these are just like little recipes, templates, you can describe or choose one of these, like let's say inactivity nudge. And let's just peek at this really fast, make sure it loads up, and it should. There we go. Okay. So this is like a little template, and you can see, triggers and actions down below. So let's say someone's inactive for, a few days. You can send them a little message. In this case, it's an email coming from your Delphi. So that's what they opted in. Again, you could take this to HubSpot and do some of your own tricky magic stuff if you want. And the way that you would actually do that, one of the ways is to add another action. And let me just click into this. And you can actually send it to an endpoint, for instance. So like here's a little custom API. You can plug in the HubSpot right here. What that's going to do is send information from the conversations that are happening over to, in this case, HubSpot. Or any other, like you can even send it to Zapier if you wanted to, or Make to do even some other tricky stuff with bank things based on the conversations that are happening. And again, it's all kind of directed with the trigger that you're setting up here. So, and that's a pretty common one is like, hey, you want to get people back, to the chat, keep engaging with them. Well, that's a good way. You can also, you can notify if people are saying certain things, different topics, if they're asking to talk with the real Matt because they want to sponsor your next video or something. It's like, great, I want to know about that one. Maybe send them here. And a bunch of other cool stuff, tag people. You can check in with people weekly. So the cool thing is I see this as like this new engagement funnel. I don't know if I like the funnel word, but the idea is, it's like now this new media exists where you can chat with people, or it can, and then you can do these little micro actions afterwards to keep the engagement going.
Yeah. No, you know me well enough to know that this is the type of stuff I nerd out about. And back when you and I were doing a lot of affiliate marketing stuff, I see so many implications there too, where you're like loading in. If people ask about this product, recommend this one. If people ask about this thing, recommend this one. And it could be sending them affiliate links. So you're generating commissions based on free chats that people are having with you. And my wheels turn on stuff like that you could do if you wanted to. I don't think I'd go to that effort nowadays, but ask me 5 years ago and that's where my brain would have gone immediately.
100%. Yes. It's all possible. So yeah, this is kind of like a very underutilized thing, but definitely automations. But that would come later, which I think most times that's the case. Build the base first, make sure it's working, and then automate stuff later.
All right, so this has been like really, really awesome. But I did tease at the very beginning of the episode that people will be able to use this for free. Let's talk about that real quick.
Yeah. That's coming out in early March, I'm told. So yeah, there will be this free tier of that anybody can start a Delphi. You can actually go to the website now. There's a wait list. So if you go there to delphi.ai, check out the pricing page, you'll see the wait list on there for the free tier and you'll see what it gets you. But yeah, it's basically like onboarding into it. It's becoming easy. It's easier by the day. Like this platform keeps evolving, and with the free tier, everybody should get a clone. I mean, start saving your time. And like we talked about so many use cases. So I'm stoked to get this out there.
Sweet. No, that's awesome. And this has been a really fun episode. And, I want to sort of like mention before we wrap this one up that for anybody that doesn't know, Joe and I actually had a business together for 10 years. And actually co-hosted a podcast for, I think, 7 of those years?
About, yeah.
So if you're like, oh, Matt and Joe seem like they know each other. Well, we know each other a little too well, put it that way.
Dress like each other.
Yeah. So, no, this has been super fun. And there's actually talks about, Joe and I maybe doing another collaboration together somewhere in the future. But that'll be... that'll be something we save for another day to talk about. But Joe, this has been super amazing. Anything that you want to like add that maybe we didn't get into? Any sort of last words about Delphi or yourself or where people can follow you online? Yeah. Like how do you want to sort of land this plane?
I'll land the plane, but like the reason why I even got into this tech, it was actually ironically after you and I stopped working together and I took over my podcast. It was our podcast at the time. And I'll just name drop. It's Hustle and Flowchart. It was actually on the HubSpot network for a little while as well. So I wanted to make a two-way conversation. I love people and I love the connection with the people. I love doing these podcasts as well in person or virtual. But I found like literally, I was looking for a tool on Twitter at the time and it was like 20 different things I tested. And they're all like dumb bots. They didn't feel like they had a personality and talk and all that. Definitely wasn't this robust, but I found Delphi and it was because I wanted that two-way convo, and I love AI, but I love people even more. So I feel like this is the kind of tech that can bring more people together, give more value, and obviously still have the human element attached to it. And it was crazy because I didn't realize I was the first user when I found them too. I became the very first user of the platform. I was like, holy moly.
I remember seeing on LinkedIn, like you went and visited them in San Francisco and they posted a picture on LinkedIn. They're like, we finally met our first customer in real life. And I was like, what? Joe was their first customer? That's insane.
I didn't know it for like 2 years. It's almost 3 years now, but yeah. And so it's just cool.
Yeah. So you're still hosting the Hustle and Flowchart podcast. So check that out. Is it just Joe Fier over on X?
All the socials, yeah. Yeah, you can find me Joe Fier, Joefier.
Yeah, so definitely give Joe a follow. He's pretty tapped in with the AI space as well, especially how AI is sort of tapped in with the marketing world.
Yeah.
So definitely give Joe a follow. And thanks everybody for tuning in today. If you haven't already, make sure you like this episode, subscribe on YouTube. If you prefer audio podcasts, we are available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts. And yeah, hopefully you come and tune into future episodes. Really appreciate you hanging out with us today.